Hello, Soul Family. Welcome back to Ascension Bootcamp 101, run by your favorite Ascension rookie. I'm back with another episode, and before we delve into this one, I would like for you to go ahead and watch that little video here that I've added on to this stream, and after that, I'll be explaining the issue here that I want to address today. So go ahead and take a quick look at that, and I'll be right back, okay?
What up, little spoon? Zero idea what this even means. I was checking my letters on Aries and my grades off. Could you change it, please? Brew? Not trying to have Mr. P as an op. Overall, no idea what this email even means. Bro, I need you to please fox my grade, bro. Can you slide for me like King Von and give me an A on Skibbity? Skibbity? Fix my grade or I'm let the alpha unleash. Come on. Okay. So with this in mind, oh, we got one more. Never mind. Pricey poo. Somebody's calling it pricey poo. I rewrote my essay and you haven't graded it yet. Bro, there's bro again. What is bro? What?
Hey, bro.
My mom said that if I don't get this A, she's taking my J's. So please regrade my essay. A $F no Rocky. Thanks, bro. Stay real.
Hi, back we are. I'm sure you had a good laugh watching this video, and it is pretty hilarious if you're looking at all the students just seeing their teacher suffer going through all of this stuff that he has to try and decipher, and that ends up basically making him pretty mad. There's lots of those videos out there. I'm sure you've seen them, perhaps even are part of the ones who recorded them, and yes, it's pretty hilarious, but at the same time it is also extremely concerning on what's going on here, and that's what I felt called to jump in here a little bit and make a brief little video on. So because the issue is really this is reality. This is not some kind of stage thing of like, that's not really happening, it's a kind of comedy show. This is the state of evolution of our younger generations right now, which basically are not in any way elevating their intelligence status and consciousness. They're literally de-evoluting by doing this kind of crippling and using this sort of language that's absolutely derailing the entire human currently achieved consciousness level as far as where we're at versus thousands of years of learning basic conceptualization and how to use our brain in a productive, effective way. So this is a serious disease that's sneaking up on us here if we're not bringing some type of awareness to it, because it's not COVID. It's not some kind of externally introduced thing, although I can't fully say if some of it isn't indeed plugged into our field from the back end. We're not having governance over at the moment, or even knowledge how far we can be influenced. But if our language deteriorates to that level, it's a literal instant deterioration of our overall consciousness as a race, and it feathers out beyond what you can currently imagine, since we're not just one little main player running the little earth that we're thinking about. This consciousness part is ginormous, and it might be of help to get a little bit further on conceptualizing what that even means when I'm talking about consciousness, because it's not just, the medical terminology of that you're supposedly conscious if you can remember your name, the date, and where you're currently at. That's the poorest explanation. Perhaps, to assess mental presence, but that's about it. Consciousness is actually, in all, a field of energy that is not only the source of everything that manifested things and beings come out of, but at the same time the original thought intention that we're playing with here. So if you think of it this way, consciousness is the core substance of the cosmos. It is an energy, and this energy is conscious. So it has a certain intent at all times, and that intent is thought that ultimately will lead to reality creations and manifestations. So back to the video, that's the whole idea. We humans are supposedly carrying this very consciousness as part of our whole consciousness that we are, that leads us to the ability to create and express intentional thought, if you think of it this way. And if we do that and have that capacity with the mind we have been given, how do we create our thoughts, our ideas, our concepts of that? We use words, and we put them together in a sequence that makes for a sense-making type of thought, or thought construct, or belief, or, depending on how much you want to put in it, it's gonna become ultimately, these words begin to coagulate together, if you think of it that way, to produce a certain sound code template that then, if focused on long enough, will manifest a certain expression in our manifested reality. That said, what are we manifesting with? Bro, Lil Spoon, what up? Yo. Like, there's these noises, these sounds, these new trendy things that our youth thinks are our next creative, adventures. They have apparently no idea what our thoughts indeed ultimately have influence over. This is a devastating, not evolution of our consciousness, but it is a severe convolution, and it will infiltrate the combined race consciousness, because you may not know it, but our entire thought fields are connected, and everyone has access to some degree to certain pockets, depending on what level of conceptualized ideas and knowledge you have basically embodied in your growth level that you're individually at, so this is a big problem, and this needs to be brought to the attention to our kids. They need to understand that if they want to have success and have a clear path that is unfolding before them according to their dreams and ideas and wants and needs, they cannot let themselves become derailed on a level that is the foundation for this path, which is crispness and clarity of the ability to think, to use words that each have a code with a specific energetic imprint that, again, however you use it will make it or break it, whatever your direction is that you're taking. They have such a shrunk down vocabulary that, it's literally trying to bake a cake with, just water, egg, and flour. How tasty will that be? And how sophisticated will that turn out versus if you have a certain pristine recipe to put certain spices and flavors in and other ingredients. How do you think that cake will turn out compared to these basic things? We're literally seeing our youth by de-evoluting our tool to create with, our words and language, downward into a noise-making kind of interacting pattern that has no sense-making ability. I mean, the teacher even says it on the video. He's like, I don't have a clue what that even means. And I'm pretty sure there's more than myself and him that think the same way. But not only that, it's you think it just needs to make sense to your brain. You as a human, complete expression of consciousness at the highest form in this very reality, everything in and around you perceives these weird deviations from language and is becoming convoluted in a way of not knowing how to produce an actual imprint of what's being conveyed. And we're basically at a dead end road. Nothing's gonna happen. They're not getting what they're actually asking for because they're not using a normal, understood and understandable confluent sentence here. They're just basically babbling meaningless words in a string of whatever their expressive agenda is at this point, and then they wonder, why is everything becoming so disturbed and all over the place? We are holographic projectors of our own reality. Every thought you think, every word you say, every choice you make on how you speak, how you express yourself, what type of thoughts you're entertaining will, one way or another, show up in your actual reality field. So it's a big problem. I'm pretty sure, even if that sounds a little convoluted the way I explained that, but I don't know how to else express that, this is not a good route that we're taking. And I would definitely encourage everyone who has any kind of influence and has the ability to communicate with younger generations that are currently in that stream of, trendiness, what they're doing with their online communications and their social media platforms, that we're going to bring that more to everyone's attention, that is a complete de-evolution and convolution of our consciousness field if we let that go, mainstream and unchecked. And there is a certain level of responsibility behind those who understand that on that level. Not that you cannot, do anything about free will choices of another human being by force, but there's certainly a way to create means and things that will bring a different awareness to this whole thing, that might, even if they're putting the tiniest seed in certain little conscious becoming minds that, you know, that are receptive to it at this point, try and get involved here. Parents, teachers, obviously already struggling with this. Wherever you are, you know, you can at least be an example of, you know, putting out some options in, you know, whether the way you speak to the generations that are in that kind of trouble, you know, situation, or offer other means of educating and bringing more awareness to it. This is affecting our entire human race. I'm sure that's not just happening here in the United States. And I feel that's why I made this little video this morning. I think this needs to be brought out. And even though it's a funny thing to listen to some of this, what's going on here, I do not envy this teacher. I feel huge sense of compassion, and I see at what level of a loss that young man is, talking to these young people who have seemingly absolutely no idea how to apply their minds, their thinking minds, in a constructive and beneficial way that would move their consciousness and evolution of overall understanding and grasping the essence of who they are forward. It's all going majorly backward. And well, that's something we need to work on. So something to tinker on, and have some, perhaps your own ideas on it. Let me know if you want to make some comments on it. That should be it for today. Happy ascending for everybody. Keep your consciousness clean. Keep your thinking process by choice in the direction that is beneficial, that feels right, that feels like, you know, you get a good sense of which direction you're taking, and try to stay away from getting suckered in this convoluted use of language. There's a lot of words already in the adult mainstream that are equally being, you know, reused. Every word, every weird noise that you're adding on that level, you literally tying your energy field to that group that mostly uses it, which will draw your consciousness, which is always on an effort to rise further down into the ditch. So remember that there's no disconnection. There is really, God knows, no privacy. You are tied into entire humanity and the entire cosmos as one integral part. Remember that. And, you know, you make it, you break it. That's really where it's at. And, that's the free will universe, to make that choice, to make a choice consciously to be better, to break that mold. And even if you're surrounded by people who don't understand that yet, choose to elevate and bring the light instead of contributing to the darkness and to the things that are convoluting and deviating our collective path. So that's that. Not as long as the first video, but I hope I got my point across. Take care. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.